Decent on my peeps, I'm AngryDel and this is the legendary Hacksaw Showcase. You may have noticed this wee fully automatic beast pop up in the event store, and for a mere 1,680 Fortnite golds she can be all yours. The Hacksaw certainly looks the part, but will her perks give you husk killing lust or leave you wanting for more? Well, there's only one way to find out, so let's lock and load and dip our cannon right into those husks and see what this pint-sized machine gun has to offer. Stats. The Hacksaw is a fully automatic, medium damage, medium fire rate machine gun. Utilising light ammo and most obviously comparable to the medium ammo spewing Terminator, you'd expect damage per round to be down. But it isn't. Indeed, despite the utilisation of cheap as chips light ammunition, the Hacksaw is up on damage to that of the Terminator by around 17%. And although fire rate is down by around 1 round per second, overall DPS is up as a result of this power boost, and the Hacksaw doesn't fall short in any other areas with identical base crit stats, magazine size, impact and range, so she's looking like a serious contender. The only deficit seems to be for reload time, where the Hacksaw just falls short of 5.1 seconds to the Terminator's 4-second reload time. But that seems like a small price to pay given the full magazine burst damage boost and utilisation of cheap light ammo. So what's the catch? Well, let's take a look at the perks before we get too excited. Perks. Here we see an immediate problem. Without any elemental or energy damage, the Hacksaw is limiting its effectiveness. Indeed, up against any elemental husks, the Hacksaw will be losing 50% of its overall damage. But then considering these perks, how well balanced they are, coupled with the underlying base stats, we might just have a gun powerful enough to get away with it. The 14% fire rate boost, although not huge, lifts the Hacksaw to just over 12 rounds per second, putting it on par with the Terminator, and a 38% magazine size boost on an already huge 100 round ammo capacity, coupled with a 50% reload perk means reload panic is going to be a very uncommon problem. The level 20 snare perk means that tankier foes are more likely to be locked down with a 30% snare damage, and at level 25, 30% damage to slowed and snared targets marries up beautifully to this perk, ensuring the Hacksaw's already significant DPS is lifted to new heights. So overall, a well-rounded set of perks despite the lack of elemental damage. But how do we get the best out of the Hacksaw? Build. In this instance, I've gone with a full DPS build that will work well with the elongated ammo capacity and help curb the instability of a fully automatic machine gun. Utilising an urban assault main, in this instance Skull Trooper Jonesy, we're treated to impressive assault rifle perks. The standard 10% damage boost all soldiers get from advanced tactics is further boosted by a whopping 45% with debilitating shots, lingering pain and kneecapper. Coupled with Make It Rain and Rain Faster, following a headshot, fire rate is significantly improved by a whopping 50%, putting the Hacksaw massively up on DPS. Steady aim also ensures recoil is minimised and that every shot counts. So overall, the combination of a Hacksaw machine gun and an urban assault main are a great combination. In support, there are a few options, including stacking a second urban assault class soldier for an additional 27% headshot damage, or using a sergeant class soldier for a crit damage boost. But since this is a low crit rate gun, and also as a machine gun not the most stable, I've gone with Wukong in support for his assault damage squad bonus, giving 24% flat damage irrespective of headshots. And in the tactical slot, again there are a few options, including a plasma specialist constructor for plasma grenades, master grenadier for the survivalist, or even a tank class constructor for firewall, which always comes in handy. But in this instance, I've gone with Raven and his explosive rounds perk, which lends well to the Hacksaw's killability and likelihood to be mowing down multiple targets in waves. So stats assessed, build done, how does the Hacksaw operate in the real virtual world? In the field. In a nutshell, the Hacksaw machine gun is a solid general purpose killing machine. With its huge ammo capacity and power, it works well as both a wave clearer and tank killer. And since the Hacksaw uses light ammunition, it doesn't suffer from the same recoil effects as its bigger brother the Terminator, meaning you can quickly and accurately pick off targets at short or mid-range, making every shot count. Indeed, whether your targets are laser eyes giving it the beams from afar, or an approaching mob of low levels lining up for a gibbing, it might not be the prettiest or cleanest way of doing things, but the Hacksaw won't disappoint. However, there is a catch. As soon as you throw a few elementals in front of the Hacksaw, it does begin to struggle with effective wave clear. But given the ammo capacity and underlying power, it will get the job done, and it works well as a one-fit gun, without having to worry about switching between weapons or timing reloads, and this makes for a well-rounded shooter. It might not be the best tank killer or wave clearer, but it's certainly not the worst choice either. And not all husks are elementals. Even in Twine, where elementals are commonplace, there are still plenty of normal husks, and this is where the Hacksaw truly becomes a beast. It will cut through non-elemental mobs, mist monsters and tanks like a machete through hot butter. In these circumstances you can literally annihilate threats without having to think. As far as brain dead blasters go, the Hacksaw is one of the best in Fortnite. It's a shame it doesn't have elemental damage, because if it did, it would be a viable primary option for downing mist monsters and tanks. But with the lack of element, unfortunately, we're left with something that, although in the right circumstances is very powerful, in those clutch moments against elementals, it just falls a little short. Pre-Twine, it'll hold its own, as there isn't a constant influx of elemental husks, but by late Canny, early Twine, when elementals become the norm, it will start to drop off. As straightforward options go, it's a great choice, but a player utilising specialist munitions with elemental counters will find themselves getting better results. But if your attitude is more spray and pray, then you don't want to have to worry about pesky reloading or having to switch between weapons for situational conditions, then the Hacksaw, although not the best choice, is a viable husk slaying option. So there we have it fam, the Hacksaw machine gun. It's an interesting addition to the game. As one of only a few machine guns available in Fortnite, it adds a new angle to this class of weaponry. And it's a great way to use up some of that light ammunition if you don't already have a siege breaker or thrasher or whatever it may be as your preferred light ammo option. But for me, it just falls short as a viable late game option thanks to its lack of elemental damage. It's still a solid machine gun option and one worth considering if you're working your way to Twine, but by no means a game changer or a first choice option to inflict maximum carnage. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to unload your full magazine right into that like button and subscribe for more high caliber action. And until next time, GG, well played, and laters fam, laters.